I got a very interesting topic to talk about this morning. It was by request of a couple of viewers that were very persistent, and I don't talk about this type of thing. I don't talk about race. I avoid talking about culture, and I avoid making differences. But they chimed in, and I had to, I gotta be me. And I gotta be honest, my word is my bond. And I remember in one of my first few audios, I did say, if you ask me something, I will do my best to answer it. And I wasn't doing myself proper justice or honor to my word by ignoring this request. This request was from several black people. I'm just saying black for the sake of conversation because we know it as a common language. We can say African American, we can say brown skin, which is fair. We could also say brown skin, okay? But I'm saying black because it's a little bit more catchy, okay? And it was presented to me in a way of an excuse, ladies and gentlemen. An excuse to be who a lot of them are today. And I'm not saying all, I'm saying a lot of. See, a lot of the black people that I know of that chimed in, they've made an excuse to say the reason why they're in the conditions that they're in was because of the social conditioning in their environment, and they have been programmed to do so for many of years. And their bad behavior, their bad choices, their bad food, and their kind of strange like lifestyle. But that's okay, because we're going to talk about it today. And before I begin, you must know this is for learning. It's for education today. It's not about saying one culture is better than the next. And Morpheus isn't putting adding gasoline to the fire, in which what the westernized, uncivilized world is already dealing with. No. We're going to talk about social engineering and the excuses behind it. And I'm going to bring some facts to you where you can actually think about it. All right? I didn't know how I was going to answer this question because I needed to go out there and do my research. And there's not a lot of things on the net. There are some things, but it doesn't really stand out punctually where it can be used for a learning sort of potential. No. And speaking to other people, it's okay to get their experiences because everybody have a different perception, but that's just it. It becomes a perception. So I did what I always do, and I'll just go travel to the source. Travel to the sources. I travel to other cultural areas, and I also travel to where brown people are, or you could say where black people may commute, communicate, have their fun. And I did something different, ladies and gentlemen. It's one thing to go where there are black people at. No, that's one thing. But I wanted to see the social engineering. Okay, it was 3 females and 4 males who actually chimed in and wanted this question. The 4 males, here's the thing. The 4 black males were practically telling me that black women in general is blaming their bad behavior. Listen carefully. Blaming their bad behavior on social engineering. And the remaining black ladies, or black women, as you want to say, they wanted to hold a grudge. They were pretty much upset in the way that they sent me their messages and their questions, and saying the reason why they can't get over their pains, they can't get over their emotional issues and why they're so aggressive, and you know, the common conversation that we have about attitude and frustration, again, is because of the social engineering. Now, y'all got the basic groundwork, and let's go ahead and let Professor Morpheus enlighten you today. And that is exactly what I am going to do. That is exactly what I'm going to do. It is known that 70 to 80% of the black community, or you can say brown skin community, however you want to say it, out of respect, is ran, have, and condone, and is all about and surrounded by single mothers. Single mothers who the father may or may not be in the picture. However, they have the reins of the horse and the power within their hands. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, there's something else that's going on that we probably know of, but we are all afraid of. I'm not going to say I'm afraid of, but I'm putting your language, afraid of talking about, is casting the blame on someone else for what you are doing to yourself. Putting the cart before the horse. And I'm not going to go into it right now, but there's a reason why. There's a reason why men are leery when they want, or if they are interested, or if it ever comes up where the woman takes the lead. There's a problem behind that. It's not because she's a woman. It's because there is a chemical reaction and a science behind this that either makes or breaks a society, because it's going to be either ran by emotions or it's going to be ran by logic. And generally, when it's ran by men, this is facts here. You get mad at the messenger all you want to. Do your own research. If you don't understand this, you might be one of the ones who's trying to go against nature. Men are typically going to run something by logic. And in reverse, women are going to run things by emotions, or tethered to how she feels, and tethered to her idea of logic, which is going to be embedded again with her chemistry. Now, this isn't the work environment is one thing. So I know what you're thinking. A career is one thing. That has the stimulations, it has the stipulation, it has its rules. And there's HR. You have another boss, maybe even a male boss, and you have protocols that there's lines that cannot be crossed, even though some, I didn't say all, some unbalanced and emotional women cannot cross. Otherwise, they'd be in trouble with HR. They get fired. They get fired for harassment as well. Or they can get themselves in a very bad legal situation for putting their emotions and their anger first before logic. It happens all the time. Okay? But at home, that's not there. At home, all bets are off. At home, she can throw her emotions around anytime she wants to. And I feel like, whether you like it or not, I am the boss. I pay the bills here. So what, how you feel? Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, there's no HR at home. There's no CEO at home. There is no consequences for her to jump over the positive sociological barrier, because she's never held to her responsibility. She's never held to a standard. What'd you just say? is never held to a standard at home. Keep that in mind, because that's going to be the key here in this study today, ladies and gentlemen. Held to a standard. What do you mean, Leon C. M? Where are we going to describe it? Just hold on. Held to a standard. That's a big thing. That's one of the biggest things right there. Held to a standard. Now, as you can imagine, because all the barriers can be broken, there's no rules. Whatever is whatever. She's the matriarch of the family. She's, again, 70 to 80% single parent homes and barely any marriages. Marriages are speckles like pepper flakes over a steak. Not really so solid as it need to be. And then you have the traditional idealism, which doesn't land with cooperative measures with the common day modern woman's idea of how things need to be. What that means, to put in layman terms, is you have modern day women who think that they are traditional and they're not. So they want to hold a traditional household. They want to raise kids, try to raise kids traditionally, and they expect for a traditional man to come into their life, but they're not traditional women. And they're not raising their kids up traditionally. So therefore, it's a fight on both ends. And the person who's actually battling is herself. She's fighting with herself. She's fighting with her own ideology that she accepted into her life. So you end up with a home that is full of conflict and confusion. Imagine that. But let's get on to the next chapter here and get on to the depth of my learning. So this past weekend, I went to several places to get my information. I went to the source. And I went to where the young people are. Here we go. The youthful teenagers and kids go when they are in their mom's care. And I also went to the Caucasians as well, white people's children, and where they go in their teenagers during the weekend when they have their time off. Some places is the Children's Museum. Some places may be a fun park. Some places might be the park every now and then. There are places that are major places like, I think there's places like putt-putt golfing, family fun. And then you have skating and you have bowling. Excuse me. I decided to go skating since adults are allowed there too. And it's a lot of fun. A lot of physical activity, cardiovascular activities and things of that nature. And so I went to the skating rink. That it wasn't a white skating rink as you would think. It was more white people there, more white children, or you could say more Caucasian children and adults that were there. And I was looking for, I was listening and looking for key differences. Yes, that's the whole point. I was there to gather information. And there were key points that stood out. Actually, let me see. There were 3 key points that I can share with you. And then I'm going to do comparison with the brown-skinned black people. Okay. Yeah, I got to put it like that because sometimes we get confused. So when I'll say white people and I'll say Caucasian, then I will say black people, then brown-skinned people. Okay. That way it's a clearer description of who I'm talking about. Because sometimes you can listen to a teacher or somebody and you pick out what you want to hear. I don't allow you to do that over here in this academy. Sometimes you have selective hearing. Oh, he's not talking to me. He must be talking to Asians. He's talking about somebody else. He's not talking to me. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm not black. I'm light-skinned. I'm not light-skinned. I'm caramel. I'm not white. I'm Caucasian. I'm not Caucasian. I'm vanilla skinned. Now I'm talking to you. You. So I got to make it clear. So anyhow, all jokes aside. So first of all, the DJ. This is where it starts, ladies and gentlemen. This is at the Caucasian club. The DJ is what I checked out first. They had an adult DJ, ladies and gentlemen, and an adult DJ that was not walking around on the floor. The DJ wasn't acting as if they was a referee. No, the DJ were doing their job as a DJ. And the DJ was a white male of a decent age. He wasn't too old. He wasn't too young. He was all right up there doing his thing. And there was something else that was a key point. The music he was playing, it was like a little bit of K-pop, Disney Channel, just a little bit of, let's see, I don't know my channels all that well, 96.3, a little bit of family music. And the music I was listening to, very keenly, very important. I was keenly listening to the music. And the music wasn't harsh. Listen, it wasn't full of rap. It didn't have a lot of mess in it. I can hear everything that the artists were saying in their song. It was radio music. It was radio produced music that was on a professional level. And it may not have been as heavy enough to, you could say, skate like on my level of skating, but it was good because there were kids around. You understand? There were kids. There were 5-year-olds. There was 8-year-olds. There were 12-year-olds. Some 18. And there was a few adults. There was a few adults skating around and all that too, because it's a place of skating that was for all ages. But most times kids are going to be there because adults are too damn lazy. So skating isn't just for kids, it's for all ages. But let me say it again, there's a lot of lazy adults. This is why we end up with diabetes, sick, and we're obese and we twisted here in America, because we are often too damn lazy. And we want to sit back and let our kids do everything and think every physical activity is just for kids. It's for adults too. Lazy ass bozos. That's why you end up in the hospital let me stop. Let me quit, because you get the message. It's your fault you get sick. It's you why you always got to be in front of your doctor for a description, because you're always sitting your ass down somewhere eating hot dogs and cheesy Doritos and tortillas and cotton candy and store-bought food and instant vendor food and high fructose corn syrup juices and pops, instead of getting your butt out there and being physically active with your children, or just doing it because it's physically healthy. Put some skates on and roll around. Last time I had a conversation with a so-called adult, you know what they told me? Man, it's been a long time since I skated. I didn't skate since I was 15 years old. All right, the doctor's waiting for you. That's okay. And as a matter of fact, it's almost a guarantee that you're already on some type of description, and you already have some type of health defect. It's a guarantee when I hear it. It equates the same. Oh, when's the last time you went to the park with your kids and you played basketball and you ran around with them? Oh, it's been a long time since I was 23 years old. I'm 46 now. Anyhow, let's move forward. The music was okay, ladies and gentlemen. It was controlled. It was good music in the Caucasians' skating rink. It wasn't their skating rink. They just normally went there because it was more Caucasian than other races that were there. That's just where they went. Maybe it was closer to their neighborhood. Maybe it was more comfortable for them. There's multiple reasons why, but it was more of them than it was any other culture. So therefore, I looked at who kept the arena going. It was a white Caucasian male who was the DJ, which made everything all right. I'm not saying it because he was a white male. Okay? I'm saying it because it's actually the truth. That is what it was. It is what it is. Then there's a third thing, ladies and gentlemen, the parents. Uh-oh. Here it is. The parents, ladies and gentlemen, was there. The parents was there. They didn't allow their 4-year-old, their 5-year-old, 7-year-old, and sometimes 8. Well, there was some 8, probably a couple of 8s. They didn't allow their little bitty kids to run in the middle of the skating rink where they can get hit and hurt. The Caucasian parents was either walking with their kids or they were sitting down at the table monitoring everything. You had mommy and you had daddy there. It was hard pressed to see a single white mother sitting there with just her kids and the father nowhere to be found. And there was a couple of them, but there were more males in that circle than there were female. Well, I'm not gonna say they're female. There were more males there to cover that bridge. So the count was kind of difficult. So you could see that they were together, and they were a couple. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Oh, Morpheus, you're copying. You're just saying that because you're pandering and all this type of stuff. No. This is exactly what I saw. It's exactly what it is. As if I'm just going to go ahead. As if I'm going to make a lesson in this academy to start some type of rift between Caucasians and brown-skinned people. As if I can do something like that. As if it's going to matter anyway today. Really? Like I'm going to waste my time to tell you about how the social engineering is false in some areas just because I'm just want to get views and likes and get somebody to listen to what I got to say. Are you out of your mind? This is actually what's going on. If you go around, do it yourself. Go to certain towns and cities, go to certain small areas, sometimes go to the suburbs, go into the skating rinks. You'll see it for yourself. Go to one where there's mostly Caucasians, listen to the music, watch the kids, watch the parents. Go to the brown skin, black people, where they mostly are going to be spending their extracurricular time, and listen to the music, watch the parents, and watch the kids as well. And you're going to see the difference for yourself. And Morpheus is on point. So go sit down somewhere and shut your mouth. Okay? On me, on the house. So anyhow, I stayed there for a couple of hours because I wanted to continue to see how the operation went. Now, the only issue is sometimes they stop every 15 minutes with an announcement, which was a hindrance when the music is playing. The music's playing, I get into it, and they turn the music off or they turn it down because they want to do some type of bubblegum game. They want to do some type of how low can you go? Y'all know that song, How Low Can You Go? How low can you go? And you do that on the skating rink. With the skates on. Then they had a raffle every now and then. So it was kind of irritating that they would stop every now and then for a commercial break or something. Or it seemed like they needed to advertise something every 15 minutes. But that's just the difference of the culture or the energy that was in that arena. So it was mostly white people there. They controlled it that way. They had their own way of how they dealt with their extracurricular activities. The same where it will be different for the brown skinned black area where they would commute and have their fun. So it was a different experience. But make a long story short, I put the three together and noticed how, again, the music, the DJ, and the parents made a difference to how these kids, here you go. If you want to talk about socially engineering is a very deep thing. Music is the most fluent, most dangerous poison that you can give to a child. Besides, of course, early drugs and other type of dangers that happen to your child. But it is the most sneaky sort of engineering that happens to your children. Because it's things that parents don't pay attention to. It's things that parents overlook. They overlook what's going into their children's ear. Rap music, heavy rock and roll, AC/DC type of stuff that are on the dark edges. I'm not saying AC/DC is dark. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying type of, on the dark edges. When you do your remixes and you flip the disc all over again and you change the album upside down and make the words go backwards, it can get kind of twisted. But they kept it neutral, and they didn't make it where it was uncomfortable to be in a skating rink. it was all right music, and the kids were very respectable. Of course, you have 2 or 3 of them who want to talk back to their mom. You have a few of them who may be a single mom and she can't keep up with her 8-year-old or her 14-year-old who want to act like they are grown adults. You're going to have your troubles no matter what culture and color that you are. Those are basic structures in every type of human species. Okay. But it was all right. So now I went to the other side of town and went to a all black skating rink. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You wanted it. Listen, for those who chimed in, you wanted it. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to answer your question raw. I looked at the same 3 aspirations or aspects. I looked at the DJ. The DJ, ladies and gentlemen, was a teenager. A teenager. Not a grown adult, not a grown black man. No, a teenage boy. You know what a teenager is going to play. And here it is. Not only, listen, not only was it a younger teenage boy pretending to be a DJ, the music that was played wasn't necessarily played from the radio. It was played, listen, from the teenager's selection, personal selection of what the teenager wanted to listen to, not what was best for the kids. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Now, I make no apologies because you wasn't listening to the first audio or to the first beginning few minutes of this audio. I already gave you my disclaimer. I did not put this up here to start an argument with anybody nor a debate. It's not to paint black people in an ugly color. You understand? It's not to cause rift for anyone. I told you, I've been doing my best to avoid this audio and this study that has been requested so many times. So I have to give it to you. Well, I don't have to, but I decided to go ahead and give it to you to get this off of my plate and to give you the understanding that you are requesting from Leonce Morpheus. So if you feel uncomfortable or if you bothered by it, you ask for it. Don't ask for what you really aren't prepared for. And then you want to get mad at me because I'm the messenger. You want to get mad because I'm giving you what you want. If you're not ready for the truth, then shut your mouth. If you can't handle the truth, don't seek it. Otherwise, you just might find it. And you just might not like what you hear. So deal with it. So that's the first thing that I saw. And I'm getting my skates, right? I already have my skates, but I'm walking in the aisle and I'm looking at the skate floor. I'm looking. The DJ wasn't up there. That's how I knew it was a younger DJ. And because the DJ, first of all, was walking around on the floor. Listen, on the floor. Nobody was up there on the DJ booth. But yet, after a few minutes, I'm walking, I'm looking at everything. Then I see him with a little checkered shirt, jump on up there and jump in a booth and put in his own lingo of distorted music that I couldn't even hear what was going on. Couldn't even hear what the rapper was saying because it was a rapper. There was no beat to it. Couldn't skate nor dance to it. I'm standing there like, is this circus music? Or are you trying to poison me? What is this? What do you listen to? Oh my God. These kids, let me pull them out of here. Oh, it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it gets worse. And it wasn't fast rap. It was slow rap where you can't even dance to. It's like it's kind of like you just listening to noise over the speaker system. It had nothing to do with skating. If that wasn't skating music, it was distorted. Well, here, okay. let's put it this way. Everybody has their own preference of music, right? I have my own preference. You have your own preference. Maybe you might like that type of music. Probably. All right. Maybe you might like that type and it was rap. It wasn't heavy rap. It was distorted rap. It was rap where you couldn't even hear what they were saying. You couldn't even get one or two words out. It wasn't, what do you call that, ebonics, something like that. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to come at you in multiple angles to try to get understanding about how it sounds, because I'm not going to put it up here for you to hear. I don't put junk like that on my system. Okay, it does no good for my computer, nor my MP3 player. Okay. But I was thinking about the kids. As adults, we may take it in differently, but the kids themselves, if we can't understand it as an adult, how much more the kid? See, it's different than skating to older 1990 music or 1995 or, old school stuff like Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg and a little bit of 50 Cent. Or you might have some Eminem, the good type of Eminem music. I know that's kind of heavy, but he had some earlier music that was decent. And then you could put some Justin Timberlake up there, something decent, right? Because Justin Timberlake, he has some good dancing music that you can actually skate to, that have a beat to it. And you can hear him speaking. He's not, in my pocket, in big low rider, I could do. You're like, what the hell are you saying? What are you saying? And then you hear stuff like this. I got baking soda. I got baking soda. I got baking soda. I got baking soda. Are you, what? And I'm looking at the poor kids. I'm looking at the little bitty, beautiful, brown-skinned kids. And I'm worried about them because I know they hear this junk, but they don't know what they're listening to. They're just trying to skate. Uh-oh. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Social engineering. We getting into it. Uh-oh. They have no idea what they are listening to, but they're listening to something that's doing something to them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, in the Caucasians skating rink, they had music you can hear. It was decent. It was clean, clear music. And the kids, even if they weren't paying attention to the music, the Caucasian DJ at least controlled what they were listening to for future possibilities. But no. In the black club, whatever is whatever. You got a teenage, don't even know himself, peach fuzz, probably haven't even graduated from high school yet, gonna play his version of what he think good music is according to his immaturity. And parents, listen, here we go. Y'all are the ones who allow this to be bled into your children of multiple ages, from the ages of 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on up, in their minds, to poison their own thinking. And you want to talk about social engineering. Oh, it gets better. So I looked at the third aspect of it, the parents. Here we go. Scattered every damn where. I couldn't even find where the mothers were at, and because I'm looking. I told you, this is for my project. It was for me to study and gather information. So I'm looking at everything. It's not to get into people's business. It's not my business. It's not to walk around like I'm some social warrior. No, it's to get information to give unto you, those who have chimed in to ask me this question. and for my own self-studies. So when I'm speaking to you according to facts, you have a clear idea, and I myself understand. And it's not just one side of town, ladies and gentlemen. It's multiple places, because I understand you can be in Ohio, you can probably go to Tennessee, you can probably go to California, you can probably go to Washington, D.C., New Jersey, Illinois. You can be around several places and get a different type of energy, but there is a median which constantly is the same. In some areas, you might have a black male, but the black male is playing a protocol music based on the club itself. I call it a club, but based on the skating rink itself. Meaning they have certain music that they play, and it's not going to be 96.3 and other K-pop and simple music like Justin Timberlake where the kids can actually dance to. It's still going to be rap junk. And then they want to be the first ones to sit back and say, oh, because we're black, we've been socially engineered because white people are holding us down because they're trying to program us. No, ladies and gentlemen, you're programming your own damn self. You're doing it to yourself. You are going to the swamp and you're drinking the swamp water, and you want to blame it on everybody else because you have the power. What was wrong with the Caucasians? What did they do? What did they do when they was in their skating rink? They didn't do what you did. There was a responsible grown male adult who was the DJ playing responsible grown male music that gave positive energy, listening comfort to the kids. You, on the other hand, you put a damn teenager in charge who don't even know how to wash his drawers yet, probably never even got laid yet, to play this mumble jumbo rap music to poison your 5-year-old's mind and head, whether boy or girl, and you as the damn parent, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I was looking for the parents like, wait a minute. There were several times where I was worried for the kids. I was worried and holding my breath. All these kids out here on the skating floor, no parents. It gets worse. Oh yeah, 6-year-old, 5-year-old, and there was a 7-year-old. There's a couple of 8s. Because they have like skate mates who was just puddling on the skate floor. And I'm looking around like, where is your parent? Where is your parent? So there was an incident that happened. And I'm skating around looking at everything and just disgusted, actually, very disgusted. And you know what I did? I prepared myself because I didn't want to waste money because I was already around every other skating rink as it was. I spent a good amount of money. Gas and money, ladies and gentlemen. Gas to drive to several skating rinks, and then money to get in there and pay the fees. So I spent money for this information. Money. You understand? So I prepared myself. Listen. At the Caucasian skating rink, I didn't have to use my MP3 player. I kept that for a backup plan, just in case the music was too distorting, disgusting, and redundantly ridiculous. I can put in my MP3 player and keep it moving so I don't waste my time or waste my money. I did spend money to get in there, right? In the brown skin club, where there were mostly black people and a young, immature black DJ, I needed to pull out my MP3 player. I needed to. And plug my ears for this noise, which was giving me diarrhea. And I'm looking at the kids wondering, how the hell can you listen to this junk? Because they had no idea. The 12-year-olds had no idea what they was listening to. None. The adults, barely any. Probably about 1 or 2 of them. And out in the crowd, I'm gonna go ahead with this story here, but let me go ahead and talk about this since it's here before us. Out in the crowd, mostly single mothers, but they were barely there. The guys that were there, they were a little younger. They weren't grown adult type of guys. They just lingering around like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, why are you just sitting there in a chair, and what's your purpose? Just sit here because you ain't got nowhere else to go? Again, let me take you back. This isn't bashing here. This isn't bad. I don't want you to think that Morpheus is trying to talk bad about brown-skinned people. No, this isn't what I'm trying to do. I'm showing you the picture of what I have experienced and what is experienced on a high probability when I have traveled to several of these skating rinks. It is usually the same thing. So it's to give you a lesson here. So don't sit here and try to get mad at me and, oh, Morpheus, you just hate black people. Why are you talking like this? And you're racist and you know what? You know what? If you can't handle the truth, click off and take your funny buck-tooth ass self somewhere else. I'm not here to appease to your emotions and your stupidity. I got a classroom to teach. It is a shame that you're unteachable. That just means you don't know how to open up your own damn eyes. And I'm not here to hold your cotton candy hands. I don't have time to sit here and talk bad about people, but I do have time to sit here and tell the truth. I don't dislike anybody or culture. I just dislike ignorance and trying to put your accountability on someone else, blame somebody else for your own stupidity. That's what I destroy right there. And so getting back to the story, barely any parents around. And it wasn't like the Caucasian skating rink where you'll see mom and dad sitting at the table. You know what I saw? I'm going to tell you, when I saw two people at the table, let's go ahead and tell you who I saw. What I've witnessed was mother and a grandpa. It wasn't daddy or mommy. I'm sure that he was, no, not that old. It's possible. Gray hair, walking around on a cane, and no, that was granddad. The father wasn't there. And then on the other table, you might have an older lady and an older father, which is the grandparents, not the actual mom and dad of the child that's there at the skating rink. They're almost damn near extinct. Why is this? Not even trying to understand their future legacy or what they're doing to their own culture and their kind. I had to watch all this. It was turning my stomach. But it was a very needed lesson for us. And so getting back to where I was at, putting the MP3 player in my ears, looking out in the crowd, looking for a mother and father, looking at all these kids with nobody out there to help them. And I've seen several kids that I worried about them. I knew that there would be some type of insurance problem. There was too much of a risk out there. If somebody hit their 5-year-old, their 6-year-old, their child, they're not going to get back up, because some of these kids were bigger, they were larger, and they were skating around. They could have knocked the kid off real easy. And the skating rink floor wasn't that they were in a protective zone either, ladies and gentlemen. They were out in the open. Listen, for you ladies who's talking about social engineering, that is all the white people's fault. That you are in the situation you're in. Where was you at when your kids was out there? Where was you at when somebody could have ran your child over and ran them into the wall, the concrete wall? Where was you at? Because I didn't see you there. Oh, you were sitting down somewhere in the corner, probably smoking a blunt. Ridiculous. Oh, it's because of what white people did to us. Oh, wait a minute, Mel. Wait a minute. Wait. I just told you in the beginning, 70 to 80% in the black community is ran by women, and 70 to 80% are single mothers. And most of them there in the skating rink was children of those mothers. The mothers was pretty much 100% guardians and responsible of these kids. But where was you at? If you are so-called socially engineered. So you're so-called socially engineered by white people, but when you have power in your hands to raise your kids up the right way, you turn a deaf ear to the poisonous music that this immature DJ is throwing into your innocent child's ear. And on top of that, to put the cherry on top of the rotted, spoiled cake, you're nowhere to be found to monitor the health and the conditions of your own damn child. And then you want to blame it on white people. They didn't blame their condition on nobody. You know what? They did something about it. They did something about it, and doing something about it from the beginning to the end. They understand the poisonous of music. They understand imagery is important. Having a father there is important. But you, on the other hand, you'll drop your child off and you'll go somewhere and go do whatever that you want to do as a grown adult. Probably something that you ain't supposed to be doing because you want to get rid of your child. So you'll drop your child off at the skating rink and you'll drive off somewhere. And here you are with your 12-year-old, 14-year-old, and 8-year-old child in the skating rink, and you're down the street somewhere, probably on something. Oh, but it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. It gets worse. I knew it was going to happen eventually. So I see somebody's child splatter all over this floor. Splatter, just boom, right on the floor with their skate mates. You know, with a bar where they got to hold on to, because they were babies. They were small. They can't do it all by themselves. They need mommy and daddy. And they crying and they trying to get up on their knees. And I skate over there to block them from nobody else stepping on it, because this is like an animal arena by now. It's like animals now. One animal trample over the other one because they weren't paying attention. You know, they were skating around. Remember, these aren't adults skating in the skating rink. These are mostly teenagers and kids. So they continue to skate while this child's practically on its face on the wooden skating floor. So I go over there and I'm waving everybody away to help the child up. Good thing there was no damage. The child didn't show any sign of a broken bone or a sprained ankle or broken fingers or hands or a bloody face. Just crying. And I'm like, okay, calm down, calm down. Where's mommy? Where's mommy? Where's mommy and daddy? Where's mommy and daddy? Where's mommy and daddy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But the baby, yes, baby, did point over there to where the chairs were, just to get off the skate floor. Not dance floor, skate floor. So I was thinking, okay, maybe they know where their parent is, because I don't know. So I helped the child skate over there to the entryway to get off the skating floor. I'm still waving everybody away, and they're just flying on past, and I don't care. It's my world. It's my world. I'm socially engineered to do this, sir. So I can do this because I'm socially engineered. It's my world. I'm going to skate on past like a corral of animals, because that's just what we do. Because we're socially engineered. Remember, white people told us to do this. You know, white people made us hate ourselves. So because they made us hate ourselves, we're going to hate every other responsibility and everything else that's around us. So we're going to blame it on somebody else that we're this way. And so, yes, the rabbit hole gets a little deeper, ladies and gentlemen. And I helped the child onto the carpet so the child can find their parent. And I'm watching the whole time. I'm holding the wall now, looking to make sure that there's no further damage. And I don't want to seem like a stranger around a child, so I keep my distance. If I'm needed, I'll be there. If not, I keep my boundaries. So I'm watching, and tick tock, mom, nowhere to be found. Tick tock, father, nowhere to be found. The child's still walking. It was a wide arena to walk around the carpeted area. So I'm pretty sure that if the parent was there, the parent can see their child over there crying their eyes out. It doesn't require a hidden device. You don't need a mega camera. You don't need a hidden Apple Watch to know where your child is if you love your child. Anyone who's concerned of their kids will see where their kid is. If their kid fall, they're going to be there. Should be there anyway. Their kid's crying, something wrong with their child. They're going to rush over there eventually. So that's what I was expecting to happen. Let me say that again for some of you who don't hear. That's what I was expecting to happen. Here I am sitting back and say, okay, you're socially engineered, ma'am. You're socially engineered. It's not your fault that you treat your children this way. It's not your fault. Somebody's holding you back. Maybe there's a white man holding you back to keep you from going over there to save your child. Maybe he's holding your skates down. Maybe he's pumping your blood with cocaine in the bathroom somewhere where you can't get out there for your 8-year-old and your 7-year-old child, which have almost practically busted their face all over the skating rink floor. So it's not your fault. Maybe I give you 10 minutes or so to break free of your bondage to go out there and save your child, since you want to play that game. So I'm sitting there watching still. The child's walking with the skate mate all the way to the corner. Now, time has passed by now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know full well the parent should have been there already. The parent should have been there already to support their child, to make sure their child was okay. 14-year-old girl. You say, how do you know their ages? Well, they look like it, and I ask questions too. Okay? I ask questions. Come out of the girl's bathroom, right? And she's wearing tight yoga pants on for a 14-year-old and makeup. Let me say that again. Tight yoga pants on to show revealing hips and buttocks and adult-like makeup on her face. She walks a little hastily over there to the child, and come to find out, she was the one watching her, and the parent, the mother, was nowhere to be found. It was exactly as I have described it that they do almost all the time. I'm just going to drop off these kids and I'm going to leave. They're my kids, but I'm going to blame all this on social engineering. I'm going to blame this on the white man. It's the white man that I live like this. It's the white man that I'm angry and my kids are raised up with disadvantaged. Because I love my kids so much, I'm not going to be there for them. But guess what? I'm going to blame the white people instead. I did the right thing myself, and I put back on my MP3 player and continue to make notes, ladies and gentlemen. And I stayed for a little while because, again, I told you, wasted a lot of money and time. And finally, towards the end, because I left a little early, I didn't want to leave out with all the rush. The mother finally showed up. That's how I know it was a mother. It wasn't a father. It was an older mother. She looked kind of, obese, a little heavy set, hunched over a little bit. The classic. No, I ain't gonna go there. Y'all probably had enough as it is of all this heavy truth, because it's gonna, to you, if you haven't experienced it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you think I'm just bashing black people. You think I'm just bashing them at this point. But if you know what I'm talking about, you've been there yourself. It hasn't changed for a few years now because the way that the black community is operating. Okay, and that's generally in a lot of areas. Not all areas, but a lot of areas. You have the classic heavy-set mother who's, bigger than normal. And you'd be like, where the hell was you? Where was you at? Why you dropped your kids off? Where's the husband at? How come you didn't send the father? How come he wasn't sitting here? It's just too many questions. There's too many things that can run through your mind. Like, why are you doing this? What if something happened to your child? What if your child got ran over? What if your child got sent to the hospital? Then what? But this is what happens. This is what happens in the black community. And the bad part about it is the court system is always willing to give custody to the woman over the man. But this is what happens when you give full custody over to the females who are going to be irresponsible for their own selves and for their own kids. Because how are you going to, you don't, first of all, that you don't care about what your child is listening to. You don't care what's going on with your child, and you're not there to monitor your child. But then you want to blame it on social engineering. You want to say the reason why your children are the way that they are in school is because of white people. But yet you don't want to tutor them at home. You don't want to read books with them at home. You don't take them to the park and oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, apparently you're not walking down a park anywhere with your child. Apparently you're not. So of course you're going to drop your child off at the park or the basketball court, and you're going to go home and do whatever that you want to do. Probably sit down and watch Netflix and chill and drink some wine and deal with that boyfriend that you don't want to bring around your kids. Oh, yeah, that's where you are. That's where you are. Oh, let me hurry up and drop my kid off at the skating rink, at the basketball court, at the after school activities. I want to hurry up and go home and be with this guy that I don't want around my kids and that my kids is never going to know about, because this is my time with him to donkey duck with him for an hour or 2 hours and a half while my kids is somewhere being distorted, disrupted, and programmed by the real social engineering. Oh yeah, there's Waddle. There he is. I see him with this red and white hat. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's not white. Socially engineering yourself. You accept the swamp. It's not that you do anything about it. It's because you're comfortable there. Because there's a thing that somebody said a long time ago. The night is what people love a lot, especially some people who want to do things that are wrong and want to do things behind people's back. A lot of single mothers do things behind their kids' back. And so they love doing things under the disguise of darkness. Darkness. In the darkness, they do insidious, crazy, sick things which put their kids in harm's way, put their kids in jeopardizable situations. On all fronts, not just skating rinks, every other place, even at the mall. This is why a couple of years ago, there was 100 to 110 teenagers in the mall without a mommy or a daddy, because they were out doing things in the disguise of darkness. Instead of being responsible for their kids. And then when somebody gets shot in the back, when somebody gets locked up, when a 14-year-old girl in school gets body slammed on the ground by an officer, now you want to sue them. Now you want to march in the streets. Now you need reparations. Now you need somebody to come and help you. Now you want to scream bloody murder, racist, and everybody hates black people, and we shall overcome. We shall overcome. But you're the first one to ignore your own responsibilities at home. That in itself, I could talk about much more, ladies and gentlemen, but it pains me to talk about this. I didn't want to speak about this to begin with. This is just a small example. This is just a small thing for you who have requested this audio. This is a small example that should give you a clearer vision that it is not all about what's being done to you. It's all about what you are doing to yourself. It's one thing to be kicked down by a bully. That's their fault. They got you one time. But it's another thing altogether when you kick down and you do nothing to get back up. You're comfortable being down there. And as a matter of fact, you help yourself while you're down there. You pull out a plate, you pull out your blanket, you pull out your drinking bottle, and you stay down there on the ground and you do nothing to raise up your own kind. You do nothing to protect your kids. You do nothing to protect what your kids are listening to or the future of your child. But you want to blame everybody else and get all kind of government assistant programming. And you want to try to vote for a certain person in office. And you want to be a certain type of, what do you call that? I ain't going to get into that, politics. You want to vote for a individual who's going to vouch for you and to apply their energy and power towards you so you can remain down at the bottom. It don't matter who's going to come along and try to give you whatever help, whatever proceeds, whatever money, whatever handouts it may be. It's not going to be effective if you are destroying yourself. So to wind it down, that has been my research. Now you can add all sorts of variations to it, like say, well, there are certain days that there's a different DJ, it's a different type of music, and a different type of crowd, all you want to. I don't go by those minorities to say that it's going to affect the majority. The majority of it is just the same. This isn't my first rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. I've been around for the health factors of skating and being physically active and playing basketball and things like that. And I do a lot of mentoring, and I speak to a lot of young people. So I have to be where they are. And sometimes the parents are there in the skating rink, or sometimes I bring them to the skating rink, so I know what I'm talking about. This isn't a one-day type of thing. I've just been very silent about it and didn't want to talk about it until these requests kept on popping up. So therefore, it don't matter. Maybe it's just a few of them every now and then that happens. What matters is all it takes is one time for your child to end up in a terrible situation and you're at fault. CPS is going to be out there and they'll take the child from you. All it takes is one time and your child's in a hospital or crippled for the rest of their lives because you wanted to be a ignorant bozo. It just takes one time. That's it. And the music that these kids are playing, which is filthy, 9 out of 10, okay, it's not going to do anything but distort and destroy your kid's mind, or put a certain image in your child's mind. Like, for example, the Cardi B's or something like that. That's not what they. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just put that on the table. The music that they have played, that I have been listening to or experienced, that's going into these young kids' mind, they will be better off listening to Cardi B than to listen to that fumble, mumble, jumble, I got, what do you call that? I got a baking soda in my pocket type of music, because that's the only options that they have. As a matter of fact, that's the only options that parents allow their kids to listen to. Parents bring their kids there and they don't complain about the music. They don't change the DJ. They don't make possible requests to change the music up because they don't care themselves. As a matter of fact, the parents listen to that junk themselves. And it's also a reflection on how mature and immature the parent is as well. Because you have an immature mother who has adolescent kids. She don't care about what's being played because she's looking at what feels good to her, while she's somewhere else. She ain't even in the skating rink. She's at home somewhere. She's laid up with her boyfriend, with her companion, her sex companion, donkey dunking, when her kids don't know about it, or sitting down eating chicken and all types of cotton candy and pizza that they have in the concession stand, while their child is over there getting ramrodded into the wall. And I don't care. They're having fun. I'll go out there and I feel like it. I can't halfway get up anyway because I'm more than 300 something pounds. So every time I take 2 steps, I get exhausted. Oh my God. I'll go out there when I really, 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 really need to. When it is the extreme and the very necessary, then I'll go out there. Until then, I'm going to sit my platypus butt right here. Not in other cultures. Not in other arenas, not where there are other people, not where there are Caucasians or even some Mexicans. Absolutely not. Only in that community. Only brown people do this kind of stuff. They're talking about, oh, it's socially engineering. My detractors and the ones who have chimed in with the messages, you got your answer. There is social engineering. I speak about it a lot, almost all the time. But within the socially engineered dynamic, there is internal engineering that must be cleaned up first. You can't worry about what's going on outside of your home if you're not dealing with what's inside your home. You're distorting yourself first. First, you got to clean what you're doing. You got to check yourself first. You have to protect the village first before you worry about what other people are doing. If you're beating up your own people, if you're distorting your own kind, if you're dementing your own tribe and people, you have no need, no requirement, or no excuse and no right, if you want to put it that, if you want to go that far, to worry about other people coming in your village and distorting your village, and you're doing the same damn thing. You ain't got nothing to talk about or complain about. When you stop doing it, when you start checking yourself, when you do what you're supposed to do for your own people and your own kind, then you can look outside the window and start worrying about what's at the horizon, what's befalling you, what could be the possibility of crippling you and your group or your tribe or your people. There's too many times, and the people that message in was absolutely correct. That's why I put a dissension right there in between. How women think and how men think are two different universes. The females often are always going to say, yes, we're socially engineered, and it's because of the world we're the way that we are. We're angry because of what white people did to us. We're so mad. But most of the time, the black men, brown men, they're not thinking like that. They're like, well, what happened is what happened, but what is important is what I do to myself today. What is valuable is what is occurring now in the present day. And that's on the higher percentage. Why is this? Because men and women are different. Because we take in reality differently. And that also has a heavy, deep effect on how these kids are being reared. When you have 70 to 80% of single mothers, you're going to have a distinctful dynamic. It's just going to happen. That in itself should be a lesson for today, plastered in plain big white chalk on the chalkboard where you can see it. This is the issue. Some of it is socially engineering from the outside, but most of it is what you're doing to yourself. It's what you are allowing to be done to your own children and your own culture. It's because you want to be ignorant. You want to look the other way. You want them to listen to trashy music because you're trashy yourself. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. You want them to be in bad conditions because you ignore your responsibilities. If you stay on the ball, then you won't have those issues. I've already gave you my example when I went to a skating rink where there are mostly Caucasians. They didn't do what you do. There was a white male for a mature DJ, and the music was sensible and fair. In the brown skin skating rink, it was a immature, young, barely even out of high school teenager, and the music was trashy. You do your own research and figure it out for yourself. You tell me what type of results you're going to get. And you wonder why your 8-year-old girl, when she turns 14, she want to twerk in the middle of the street. Go sit your ass down somewhere. You wonder why she want to have twins before she's even 17 years old. You sitting there letting her listen to this subliminal music, this mind-washing, distorting music that you can't even pull any words out of. So what the hell are they talking about? Oh, they talking about this, that, this, and this. Like, wait a minute, I can't even hear one word. What are you talking about? What? I mean, what? How did the song start and how is it going to end? Please end it. What are we talking about here? Where's the lyrics? And the parents just sitting there in the chair, twirling their thumb. No, excuse me. Let me. Where's my manners at? The parent, singular, not parents, singular. Parent is sitting there, practically not caring about this. Oh, you want to know what's deep about this? Oh, if they don't care to be in a relationship with someone or to mend the pieces and actually be with man and womb man, then how much more would they care about what's being done to their own child? Lord have mercy. I just thought of that. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Wait. Pump the brakes. You know how true that is? If they don't care to get along with their black male as a father figure or as a decent male in their life, how much more would they care about what's being done to their kids? I know a lot of people are not going to like that. I know it's going to turn you upside down, but guess what? I didn't name you. I didn't do it. It's not my child. And as a matter of fact, I'm not the guardian of that child that's skating without you on the skating floor. So whose responsibility is it but yours? You getting mad at the messenger. You're getting upset because somebody put a mirror in front of your face to show you who you really are. And you don't like it. That's your problem. This ain't just about free speech, ladies and gentlemen. This is about accurate truth being spoken. Truth to power. And you don't like it. Because it exposes our ignorance. It exposes the very idea in distorted, mind-washing, dilapidated, backwards thinking, unfortunately uneducated thought patterns of trying to blame someone else of the filthy behaviors that we're doing to ourselves. And then you want to get grants. You want the government to help you because you are making a flop of your life. You're a damn joke. I don't raise idiots over here in this academy. I raise real people who are accountable for their actions and who can accept the truth. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're simply going to be right. If you're an idiot, you're going to get idiots' results. That's as simple as I can put it together. That is a lesson for the day, ladies and gentlemen. And there is more empowerment, even though it seems like tough love. But it is accurate truth, whether you want to accept it or not. That's why this is the Academy of what? What? The Academy of Wow. Man, if you don't get the wow effect, then I'm not doing my job enough. And I have to go deeper and probably a little stronger until you do say, holy wow.